The silence that changes everything. Reasons 1 to 3. So, in this video, She Insight is breaking down the psychological and emotional reasons why women often come back after you pull away. Now, if you have ever been ghosted, breadcrumbed, or placed in the dreaded maybe zone, then you already know how confusing it feels. One day she is warm, texting you, laughing with you. The next day she becomes distant, colder, harder to reach. And then something strange happens. The moment you stop chasing, the moment you pull away, she suddenly remembers you exist. Now she is texting again, calling, acting like she has missed you all along. But why does this happen? Why does a woman sometimes come running back the second you give her space? Stay with She Insight, because once you understand this, the way you see these situations will change completely. Reason 1. Distance creates curiosity. Remember this simple truth. Predictability kills curiosity. If a man keeps orbiting a woman while she is acting distant, liking every post, replying instantly, always checking in, he becomes easy to predict. And once someone becomes predictable, the mystery disappears. Curiosity fades. That is why you should never build a routine of hovering around her when she starts acting up. When she pulls away and you keep chasing, you actually remove the one thing that makes people curious: uncertainty. But the moment you step back, something powerful happens. Mystery enters the picture again. Now she begins wondering. Why did he stop texting? Did he move on? Is he talking to someone else already? Was I wrong about him? There is also a psychological principle behind this called the Zeigarnik effect. It simply means that unfinished situations stay in our minds longer than completed ones. And when you pulled away without drama, without explanation, without closure, you created an unfinished story inside her mind. You did not block her. You did not post emotional quotes online. You simply disappeared. And that silence becomes loud. Now her mind keeps replaying the questions again and again. Because curiosity is the first step toward renewed attraction. The moment she starts trying to figure you out again, she is emotionally re-engaging with you. Distance, when used correctly, is not weakness. It is influence. And curiosity is the first spark. Reason 2. She starts questioning her decision. Here is something most men never realize. When a woman pulls away, most of the time she expects resistance. She expects you to chase. To text her asking if she is okay. To try convincing her to stay. But when you do none of those things, something unexpected happens. Doubt slowly enters her mind. At first, walking away made her feel powerful. But your silence changes the equation. Because silence acts like a mirror. It forces her to sit alone with the consequences of her choice. When you step away, you are not only removing yourself. You are removing your attention, energy, care, and masculine presence from her life. And suddenly the difference becomes clear. If you were truly the problem, she would feel relief. But if she begins feeling uneasy, uncertain, maybe even regretful, then the loss is real. Unfortunately, this is the moment where many men ruin everything. They text her again just to clear the air. They check in. They apologize for her decision. And the moment they do that, her doubt disappears. Because now she knows you are still waiting. That is why sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing at all. Let her sit with the silence. Let her replay the moment she walked away. Because distance does not only create curiosity, it creates doubt. And doubt has the power to shake even the most confident decisions. Reason 3. You regain your power without saying a word. Let us talk about power dynamics. Most men give away their power without even realizing it. Constant texting. Constant availability. Constant reassurance. Did I do something wrong? Are you okay? Can we talk? Energy like that does not attract. It repels. But the moment you stop chasing, everything shifts. When you pull back without arguing, without begging, without explaining yourself, you reclaim something important. Your power. Not because you yelled. Not because you tried to control her. But because you removed your energy without warning and without apology. Real power is influence without effort. And when you quietly walk away, you show something rare. Your worth is not dependent on her response. You are a man who can leave with his dignity intact. And if she can feel your absence without you saying a single word, then the message has already been delivered. Because when you stop fighting for attention, something surprising happens. You get your power back. And that shift is what begins pulling her attention toward you again. When the power dynamic flips. Reasons 4 to 7. Now that insight has explained how distance creates curiosity, doubt, and power, the next part is where things become even more interesting. Because something deeper begins to happen after you pull away. The entire emotional dynamic flips. And most women are not prepared for that shift. Reason 4. She never expected you to actually walk away. When she started pulling back, giving you attitude, replying slower, or becoming emotionally distant, she probably assumed something. She assumed you would stay. She thought you would keep proving yourself. She thought you would chase harder. She thought you would try to win her back. Because that is what most men do. But when you did the opposite, when you simply stepped away, something inside her changed. You broke the script. Many women test men emotionally. They pull away, ignore messages, or become cold just to see one thing. Will he still choose me when I make it difficult? But when she realizes you stopped auditioning for her approval, when she sees that you stopped trying to prove your worth, suddenly she is the one who feels uncertain. Because you were not supposed to leave. You were supposed to stay. You were supposed to keep trying. Instead, you chose silence. And that silence begins to disturb the confidence she once had. Maybe she even told her friends, "He's sweet. He's not going anywhere." But 2 weeks later, she is quietly watching your stories. Maybe from a private account. Maybe from the shadows. Not because she suddenly woke up, but because your absence forced her to. The truth is simple. It was never that she did not like you. It was that she never expected you to respect yourself enough to walk away. And once you did, the entire power dynamic changed. Reason 5. Emotional contrast begins. When you give her distance, you do not just disappear physically. You remove your emotional presence. And that creates something powerful. Contrast. At first, she thinks walking away gives her freedom. More attention. More options. More excitement. She tells herself, now I can focus on me. Explore. Do whatever I want. But reality slowly shows up. Yes, there are other men. Yes, there is attention. But something about it feels shallow. The new guy might be nice. But he does not challenge her. The conversations may be consistent. But they are forgettable. The attention feels good. But it lacks depth. And slowly, without warning, she starts comparing. She remembers the way she felt around you. Because emotions are not logical. They are experiences. And once someone has experienced a certain emotional connection, feeling seen, safe, challenged, understood, it becomes difficult to replace. Now every new interaction is quietly compared to the feeling she once had with you. Your absence becomes louder than your presence ever was. And that is why sometimes a message suddenly appears. Hey, I was just thinking about you. Or, remember that time we? It may sound like casual conversation. But what she is really chasing is a feeling she cannot recreate. Reason 6. You became the challenge again. Let us be honest. People rarely chase what comes easily. They might enjoy it. They might keep it around. But they do not crave it. And when you were always available, always texting, always responding, always showing up, you slowly became predictable. Predictability lowers attraction. But the moment you stopped checking in, stopped validating her, stopped chasing, you became a mystery again. Now she notices the silence. No calls. No just checking in messages. No replies to breadcrumbs. Suddenly, the man who once felt guaranteed is now unavailable. And that shift changes everything. Because you remind her of the man she first met. The one with a life. The one with purpose. The one who did not need constant validation. The man who could walk away with his head high. That man is still a challenge. And that challenge is something she cannot easily forget. Reason 7. You took back your masculine frame. Finally, the deepest shift happens within you. When you stop chasing, you are not only pulling away from her. You are stepping back into your masculine frame. Your emotional center. The version of you that stays calm under pressure. Purpose-driven. Focused. Unshaken. A man in his frame does not panic when a woman becomes distant. He does not beg for reassurance. He respects his boundaries. And when a woman senses that you are not afraid to lose her, she begins to feel like she might be losing something real. Many men lose this frame the moment a woman pulls away. They become anxious, emotional, approval-seeking. Suddenly she becomes the prize, and he is auditioning. But when you remain calm, silent, focused on your purpose, you send the loudest message possible. Not through words, through energy. You are working on yourself. Your focus is sharp. Your life is moving forward. And when she sees that shift in your posture, your energy, your absence, she realizes something important. She did not lose a boy. She lost a man. And men who stay grounded under pressure are rare. That calm strength is what lingers in her mind long after you walk away. That is the energy that makes her circle back. Because sometimes the most powerful message a man can send is the one he never says at all.